From a massive unexplainable sea monster to a potentially satanic engraving into the earth, here are 5 scary Google Earth discoveries that are gonna haunt you. Number 5 on this list is the SS Jassim. The SS Jassim was a Bolivian cargo ferry back some 20 years ago. Going in for a typical cargo mission back in 2003, the crew and the boat suffered a grim fate. The vessel sunk on the Wingate Reef off the coast of Sudan. After some extensive research, I was actually unable to discover how many people survived from the crash back then, so if you guys know the answer to that, then please let me know. I will say though that they were pretty close to the coast, so I would have hoped that those on board made it back to land. The boat never did though, and now you can see it from Google Earth still resting where it sunk 20 years ago. In fact, this wreck is said to be the largest shipwreck that you can find on Google Earth, and it honestly does look really big. Like, that is one massive boat that is almost fully capsized right there. If it wasn't for the fact that someone lost a whole lot of money and the crew got in serious danger, it would honestly be pretty cool. Also, one thing that makes this a little bit more mysterious is that nobody knows really why the boat sunk in the first place. Like, did it hit the reef and then just capsize? If that is what happened, then why did the captain of the boat drive straight into the reef? Was it a human error thing, or did something malfunction on the boat? Comment down below what you guys think caused this crash back in 2003. Number 4 on this list is the Kazakhstan Pentagram. The Kazakhstan Pentagram is just the perfect fuel for conspiracy theorists everywhere. And honestly, I don't even blame them that much, because this thing is super creepy and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. The massive star is located on the southern shore of the Upper Tobol Reservoir. The weirdest thing, other than having a massive star imprinted on the Earth, which is already pretty weird to begin with, is the fact that there isn't a single human settlement for 12 miles. Having no human settlement near a massive star that has a diameter of 366 meters is definitely pretty questionable. So what the hell is this thing doing here, and how did it get here in the first place? Well, we're all thinking it, so I'll be the one to say it. Aliens. This theory's been thrown around a bunch by those who've examined this photo, and it does make sense. Why would humans come out in the middle of nowhere and build something like this? Then again, by that same logic, why would aliens come to a completely new planet and build this thing either? Another reason why the star might be here is because it was used in ancient rituals for worshipping the devil. The bizarre symbol looks like it could have had a religious quality to it, and maybe might have been part of some nefarious cults many years ago. One archaeologist thinks they found the answer and has chalked the discovery up as being the outline of a park. Stars were a popular symbol in the Soviet era, and the archaeologist believes that they made a park in the shape of a star, and the world just collectively forgot about it. Up to this point, nothing has been confirmed either way, so we may never know the true origins of this creepy shape. Number 3 on this list is the Badlands Guardian. The Badlands Guardian is a name that's been given to a very interesting geological wonder in Alberta, Canada. The site can only be seen from Google Earth or high in the sky, and it's really super creepy. As you can see, the Google Earth discovery looks exactly like a person wearing potentially a First Nations headdress. And what's really cool about this find that can't really be said for a whole lot of the other Google Earth finds is that it was completely made from the earth. Through natural erosion of rainwater on the clay that's there, this image has formed and created what we see there now. No human intervention has taken place at all. In fact, the only thing that we included was that tiny little white thing in the middle of the photo, which funnily enough kind of looks like some Apple earbuds. Honestly, kind of surprised we haven't seen this dude pop up on an Apple commercial yet, because that would work perfectly. It's fun to look at now and a really cool wonder of nature, but it definitely would have been scary if you were the first person discovering this. It reminds me a lot of the movie The Mummy, where the antagonist, the mummy, haunts the sand and goes after people. Luckily for us, that isn't the case here, and now it just acts as a super cool Google Earth tourist spot for those who like to look things like that up. Number 2 on this list is a giant sea monster. Too big to be a shark and too fast for a whale, so what is the mystery creature captured by Google Earth off the coast of New Zealand? That's the title of an article by the Daily Mail about the Google image that we're referencing here. As you can see in the photo, there's a massive long black creature lurking in the waters of New Zealand. Some people have chalked this up as being the trail of a boat, but that theory's been thrown out because there isn't any white frothy trails behind it as well. Many have guessed what this thing could potentially be, but no one's come up with a concrete explanation. My best guess is the Hook Island sea monster. The Hook Island sea monster is actually something that we've discussed on this channel before. Hook Island, which is located in Australia, not too far away from New Zealand, has a legend that surrounds its waters of a massive long sea creature. First spotted in 1964 by a family, this creature was described as being a massively long serpent that's black and dark brown in color. It's got a huge head with large sharp gaping teeth. Apparently this creature was said to be unlike any animal the family had ever seen before, and was a very scary cross between between a giant snake and a shark. Obviously, it's impossible to know for sure, but the outline of the creature in our Google Earth photo looks a lot like what I would expect this sea monster to look like. The swim from Australia all the way to New Zealand would be a long one, but it's not impossible to think that a creature of this size would be capable of the trek. Potentially, its food reserves were starting to run dry in its natural habitat and had to migrate to the waters of New Zealand. The sightings of this beast over at Hook Island have gotten fewer and further between as time has went on, and maybe it's just because it isn't there anymore. Comment down below what you guys think might be causing this strange shadow in the water. I'm curious to hear what theories you can all come up with. Number 1 on this list is Davie Lee Niles. Davie Lee Niles was a Michigan man who was 72 years old and went missing back in 2006. Police searched for quite some time, but for the life of them had no idea where Davie went. He just disappeared from the face of the earth. Well, 9 years later, someone was able to make the discovery. Apparently, someone was decorating a Christmas tree, and while they were up there, noticed something submerged in the lake. They contacted police and they came to take it out of the water. They didn't do this before someone got an image of it on Google Earth though. In this picture, you can see the outline of a car. That car belonged to Davie Lee Niles. When the police went to investigate and pulled the car out of the lake, they found a body in it as well. They weren't able to recover any teeth from said body, and it was in very rough shape, but they said that they have no reason to believe that it wouldn't be the body of Davie Lee Niles. Apparently the water is far too murky up close, but at a distance, like the one you get on Google Earth, you're able to make out the outline of the car. This is super creepy and just one of those images that sticks with you. That car would have been sitting there for over 9 years without anyone realizing. Think about how many times somebody pulled into the parking lot and was unknowingly only a few meters away from a dead body. It also makes you wonder, how many times does something like this happen in our lives? Obviously this is a rare occurrence, but is it possible that there are other things that have gone completely unnoticed on the ground that from Google Earth we'd be able to pick up on them immediately? Also, this entire mystery begs the question, how did Davie Lee Niles and his car get to the bottom of that lake in the first place? A question that's probably still haunting investigators to this day. Well, there you have it guys, that is our list of the top 5 scary Google Earth discoveries that will haunt you. Please comment down below what you thought about this list and the coordinates of some other crazy Google Earth things that you know about. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Blaylock, and I'll catch you next time.